It's time to put you in some situations where you're going to have to pick pets, your partners, all for money. It's going to be an interesting conversation here on the Luke Kelly Show this week. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast at. Tell a friend to listen. Please, I'm serious about that one. I want more people to listen. I want more people to join the fun, because that's what this show is about. Having fun, having unique conversations, bringing unique perspectives to everything. That's what we're going to do on this show, especially today. Because I heard some hypotheticals last week, and I want to run them past you to see if you would be willing to do this. So make sure you share your thoughts with me on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Luke Kelly. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Kelly Show. I was listening to some people run some hypotheticals last week, and I'm just like, man, where are they coming up with this? Where are they coming up with this? The first one, let's start with this, because this led to a big conversation between Nora and I. And it was about how much you would be willing to sell your dog for. Some people are like, yeah, it would probably take me about $1 million to sell my dog. Like $1 million for a dog? Listen, I love my dog. I just spent the whole day with my dog. And we're like best friends. All right? I mean, she watched me poop. I had the door open earlier today, and she opened it so she could sit in the bathroom while I went to the bathroom. So, like, we're that good of friends. But like $1 million, yes. $10,000, we might have to negotiate that a little bit. Might have to bring it up to at least $50,000 for me to sell my dog. I asked Nora this question. I said, Nora, how much would you be willing to sell Rory for? I said $1 million. No, I could not sell Rory at all. That's what she told me. I'm like, you wouldn't sell Rory for $1 million? Come on, that's a lot of money. Could put that towards retirement, invest it so that way we could live large once we do hit retirement. She's like, no, not $1 million. What? $1 million for a pet? Like, I understand Rory's part of our family. But $1 million, I would sell some family members off for $1 million. That may be a really hot take, but I would do that. $1 million, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's the money where you're starting to get into, okay, well, I could pay off all my bills, and now my job could actually pay for me to do fun stuff. Like, I don't have any bills anymore. That's what $1 million could do. That means your money that you make at work, you could actually enjoy instead of worrying about having to pay all these bills. Because you wouldn't have a mortgage, you wouldn't have a car payment. You would be able to put that towards a kick-ass vacation every year. You would be able to put that towards so many cool experiences for you and your partner. $1 million for your dog. If someone wanted a dog that bad, of course. Like, if they thought my dog was so special, my dog was worth $1 million, yes, here you go. There she is. Here's her collar. Here's her leash. She likes to eat at about 7:30 in the morning and about 5 o'clock for dinner. I would just give them that rundown. And I would let them know that she doesn't like walks and she only likes to play fetch. So make sure you have a big yard. Those are the details that I would give. The other hypothetical that I heard this week that really made me laugh was, how much would you let your partner basically cheat on you, okay? How much money would you have to get in return for your partner to go ahead and cheat on you? But with someone that was significantly older, somebody that was like 80 plus. Someone said $500,000. $500,000. Like, yeah, $500,000 maybe. Because I feel like $500,000, it's a good amount of money. But that one, that's not that life-changing. But they're like, oh, would you let your wife for $500,000? And I was like, probably. Probably. But I would really want more money. Like if we were dead broke and she had to do that, go sleep with some 80-year-old man, maybe. But I would definitely want more money. I know my wife's worth, okay? A lot more than $500,000. But would I do it for $500,000? Would my wife let me sleep with an old lady for $500,000? Yes, she would. She told me that. She was like, as long as you split that money with me, though. I'm like, what? I got to split that money? I'm the one that's doing the work. Just imagine all the things that I would have to do in order to earn that $500,000, and you would want me to split it with you? Because I don't think in that scenario, your partner would ever let you live it down. Be like, oh yeah, you remember? You slept with so-and-so for $500,000? Be like, yeah, because you gave me the thumbs up. If I knew that you were going to dangle that over me the whole time, I wouldn't have done it. Like, to me, I would want more than $500,000 to sleep with an old lady, but I would probably take it because me, I think I'm worth $500,000. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers in that situation. I would like to get at least $2 million for my services. You know, I'm a bullpen guy, a low rookie end bullpen guy. I could do that. $2 million, man. I feel like that's a good price for me. Maybe I should pimp myself out on the internet. Be like, well, my wife said it was fine if I slept with an old lady for $500,000. So if I knock it up to $2 million, I'm sure she would be A-okay with that. And you know what? In that scenario, I would be A-okay going with the 50-50 split on that. $1 million each. Yeah. $1 million each. I would be, oh man, there are so many things that I would do with that $1 million. I'd join a country club, pay off my house. I feel like I would always do the same things with my money, though. And I feel like some people are able to live out that whole thing now because of OnlyFans. OnlyFans, there's so many weird ways that you can make money on the internet. And you living in a hypothetical, I'm sure people would have said a long time ago, would you dress up as a baby and act like a baby for $120,000 a year? Just for example. You'd be like, I don't know, probably, maybe. Now you have that opportunity. You could start an OnlyFans and do that. You could start an OnlyFans and just sell pictures of your feet. Now you could do a lot more weird things on OnlyFans. There's some people that make a lot of money on there. It would be hard for me to actually look at that as real income coming through because, you know, that next month it could just dry up really quickly. But now you could live out those fantasies and make money doing that. Just because the internet is filled with so many weird things now. So many weird things. I thought that nuts.com was going to be a weird website to go to. You're probably like, why would you even think about going to nuts.com? Well, I went to go pay my credit card off. And it was like, hey, these deals are coming up next month. Would you like to activate them on your card? I'm scrolling through and I see nuts.com. Nuts.com? You could get 10% back on a porno website purchase? No way. There's no way this is possible. I go to nuts.com. It's a real, legit website where you can go and buy nuts. Pine nuts, peanuts, walnuts, cashews, anything that you want nut related, you could get on that website. How is that not a adult website? I'm struggling with that. Because I remember the first time that I ever went to go and try and buy something off a Dick's Sporting Goods website, I just typed in Dicks.com and you know what I got? Not Dicks.com. I got Dicks.com, but I didn't get DicksSportingGoods.com. Way different website. Let me tell you. Like, how can that happen? I feel like there should have been some sort of entertainment company, some adult entertainment company that bought that URL a very long time ago. Or maybe they did and they sold it off to some people that wanted to sell actual nuts online. Just imagine this. If nuts.com actually was a place where it was like a black market that you could go and buy testicles, like male body parts, that would be weird. How I even thought of that, I don't know. That just legit popped in the head. That would be really messed up. Because you would think that nuts.com would be an adult website. In reality, it's, you could go sell your boys on there. Now that maybe would be a side hustle. I'd be like, hey, I'd sell mine. $100 million. You want them that bad? $100 million. You ready to pay? Here you go. I'll put them in a cooler and send them off next day air with UPS. I would be all right with that. I'm okay with not having that. If I'm $100 million richer, hell yeah. $100 million, I wouldn't have to work again in my life. Go play golf every day. I'm telling you, that would be my life. If I ever made a lot of money, in whatever way I made it, it would be filled with living my life the way that I would want to. And most of that time would be spent on a golf course and taking Nora on cool vacations. That's what I would really do. But to be honest with you, I would probably invest some of that money as well. Like, I would want to invest it into some sort of tech thing. What? I have no idea. Because I feel like now when you try to invest in tech, like, everybody has an idea. There's so many other opportunities out there, especially with the metaverse and what is the other, Bitcoin and all that stuff. I feel like in the tech world, there's a big market that is actually like purchased. So what would I do with my loads of money that I would get off of sleeping with old women and selling my testes online? I don't know. I think that I would just want to start up my own venture that is just a food website. And it would be ranking stuff based off of your suggestions. So like it would be, for example, I would have an app that was like, that was called Food Me or something like that. And every single restaurant that you went to, you ranked, you gave it like a 1 through 5, what you ate at that restaurant. So if you had like chicken tenders, you would rate it 1 through 5. 5 obviously being the best. And then you go on this website and you're able to see all the top scores in all the top categories across the world. Like that's something that I would do. Just because I love food so much. And I would want that conversation to go. And like after someone rates it, like they have to give an explanation on why they liked that food so much and what made that dish so awesome. Because sometimes I feel like people just give in to hearing everybody else's opinion and be like, no, you cannot submit your review unless it's a real review. And you can't have the same review as the person above you. Can't do that. Bring a unique perspective to it. And my first one that I would want to start, it would basically be like a food Reddit, okay? But a little bit more detailed than being on Reddit. And the first one that I would start is the top 3 French fries. Because I feel like everybody has a favorite fast food French fry. Most people are going to say McDonald's is the best. You know what? McDonald's doesn't even make my list. I think McDonald's has the worst French fries. And I'll say that over and over again. Because I feel like that is actually true. There's so many other fast food French fries that I would rather have. Like when I go to McDonald's, I don't even get a side of fries. That's why I don't order meals from McDonald's. I'll order like, hey, can I get 2 McDoubles and a 20-piece chicken nugget? And I'll just down the chicken nugget like that's my side. Like those are supposed to be my French fries. Because their fries are gross. They're always soggy, super salty. They just, I would rather feed those to the birds. Like that's one food that I don't mind feeding to the birds because they're just not good. I'll give you right now my top 3 fast food French fries. At number 3, told you I've been on a huge KFC kick. KFC's new French fries are fantastic. They have the 11 herbs and cheese spice on there. Super good. Super, super, super good. And I think these French fries are kind of like the same ones that they have at Taco Bell, and it would make sense because KFC owns Taco Bell, but Taco Bell just puts the nacho seasoning on there. So they do taste a little similar, but KFC's are just so much better. I love them. I'm becoming more of a KFC person than I ever thought I would. And I used to make fun of my mom all the time because she always, whenever we would like go out to eat or pick up some sort of fast food, she always wanted KFC. And now I'm slowly like, yeah, you know what? KFC is actually very underrated. People don't hype it up enough. At number 2, Burger King. Burger King is only losing out to my number 1 spot because I feel like the number 1 spot is a little bit more unique to the fast food French fry game. Burger King always has very good crispy fries with just enough potato-y fluff in the middle. That's the best way to describe it. And whenever you go to Burger King, you get yourself some French fries, you know you're bound to get that special hidden onion ring inside of your French fry container. And that's a treat. It's like I didn't order that, but there they are. There's my chicken, there's my onion ring inside my French fry container. So that's just like a nice little bonus point right there. I love their French fries. And the number 1 top fast food French fry. I might get a lot of hate on this one, but I am honestly a huge Arby's curly fry fan. The way they season those things, the curliness of them, so good. And I don't even use French fry, or I don't use ketchup on those French fries. I actually like going with Arby's sauce as the dipping sauce for those French fries. And I want to buy Arby's sauce and put it on everything because I think it's that good. I really do. I know there's some people that go to Arby's and they get their horseradish sauce. I don't like that one. Give me the Arby's sauce. When I was a kid and I would go to Arby's, didn't go there a lot, but you should have seen my tray that I would take to the table. I'd have my beef, my curly fries on there, and then the whole other part of the tray was just full of Arby's sauce. And then before I went, I would go and ask the people at the counter, be like, hey, can I get some packs to go, man? Can I get those little packages? Yeah, sure, no problem. I would throw those bad boys in the refrigerator. You know you have a little spot in your refrigerator that is dedicated to condiments that you've gotten at fast food restaurants. Everyone does. We have Chick-fil-A sauce. We have the barbecue. We have from every single restaurant that you can think of. You always got to save those things because you never know when you're going to run out of those things in your house. Just a good backup to have. But I really do enjoy those. Just so good. It's so good. And the more and more we talk about food, the more and more sad I get about how the future generation will never be able to experience the Lincoln College cafeteria. I got some sad news the other day. My buddy Brad texted me and said, hey, man, Lincoln is closing. After 157 years of being open as an institution, it's closing down at the end of this semester. And this one really hurts because Lincoln, I went to 2 colleges. I went to Lincoln College and I went to McMurray College. Lincoln College was one that I loved. It just felt like home. It really did. That's the best way to describe it. from eating in the cafeteria because their food, like you think of a college cafeteria and you're like, oh, food is garbage. Lincoln College had a great cafeteria. And every single morning I would go in for breakfast. There was this one old lady cook. And she would be the only one that would serve for breakfast because not that many college kids would go to breakfast. But since I've always been an old man, I went to breakfast. And I remember one morning I went and I filled up my coffee. And I'm like, oh, the best part of waking up. Just doing that jingle as I'm filling up my coffee. You hear the cafeteria worker go, "Is Folgers in your cup?" And I'm like, oh, that lady just made my day. She gave me eggs, she gave me potatoes, and she sang along with me. She knew how weird I was, but she played right along into it. And, you know, I'm just sad that nobody else will be able to experience that from now on. Talked to a lot of my buddies that went to Lincoln, kind of reminisced of some good times that we had there. I haven't reached out to my baseball coach there because I'm sure a lot of people have reached out to him. He was there for a really long time. 31 years he worked there. His wife, 41 years. So that was like a family business working at that school almost. So it's just sad because not only is Lincoln closed down, I don't know if you've heard me talk about this before. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on this podcast, but my other college, McMurray College, closed down after the 2020 school year. So I legit have no college that I went to. Like I could never go back for a homecoming weekend. I could never go back to just watch a random sporting event. Can't do any of that. It's gone forever. And it just, like I said, Lincoln hit me a little bit different. Mac, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I kind of saw signs that it might even close when I was a student there. But Lincoln, I always thought was in the right space, and I guess they were. Because like in 2019, they had a record number of enrollment or enrollees, students that entered into the school. So like that was a good thing. I'm like, oh man, they're on their way to be a successful school. They just started out in NAIA, like they were starting to change a lot of things. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm glad to see the growth for them. And then the pandemic, you know, it just was around for way too long, and it ended up costing the school. It was sad, man. It was sad. And it was weird. I was like a little depressed yesterday about it when I found out. Good thing I had Little Caesars pizza to eat. I'm like, man, I'm just going to down this pizza, eat my sorrows away. It made me think of other great experiences that I had being a little intoxicated in my dorm room, eating some local pizza, not from the school cafeteria, but there was this place in Lincoln, I don't know if it's still open, called Stufferia. You could get a large pizza and breadsticks for $5. Like it was like more affordable, like $5 for both of those things. You couldn't do that at Little Caesars. It would be a little bit more, but I mean, man, it was great. And it was so greasy that it cured a hangover, like it cured everything. I'm pretty sure that's was its marketing campaign. It's like, hey, we cure anything. That's what that did. Loved that school, man. So it was just sad to see. Really sad to see. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of The Luke Kelly Show. I shouldn't say this week's episode, but this Monday edition of The Luke Kelly Show. Like, I only do one show a week. No, I don't. I do 2 shows a week. I'll be back to talk with you on Wednesday. Until then, adios.